All right, welcome back to another episode on Dad's Honest Hauls. Today we are going to change these outdoor hanging light fixtures. So, if you want to learn how to change these outdoor light fixtures, follow along. Of course, like and subscribe. Please leave a comment if you got any questions. Let's go ahead and dig in. First things first, before we get started on this, you gotta make sure, most importantly, turn the power off to this light fixture in your main panel. So let's go ahead and go over there and we'll show you that. All right, so we are over here in the main panel. I have got all of my breakers labeled right here. So I know exactly which one on here is gonna correspond to that outside light. But if yours are not very clearly labeled, as a general rule of thumb, turn the power off. You do not wanna be messing with the electrical wires while this is on. So if you're not sure, just shut the power off. I'm gonna go ahead and flip my breaker for those outdoor lights before I get started. So now that we got the power off, the next thing we are going to do is we are just going to take this old fixture off. So most fixtures are going to be pretty simple. We can see here, oh, we got some dead frogs in there. It's definitely a Florida thing. So pretty simple on the inside here. I'll show you guys what we're working with. These light fixtures are pretty simple, but I'm also going to tell you too, just to be safe, grab an electrical tester just to make sure that your power is absolutely off. So I'm going to touch this thing to the wires back here. We got no beeping, which means we are definitely dead. Power is off, so I'm safe to go in there. Side note, if you want one of these electrical testers, they're awesome. I will throw the link down in the description to grab one of these. Check this out if you need a nice electrical tester. All right, so let me bring the camera up close and I'll show you what we're working with back here. All right, so as you can see, we have got our ground wire, which is going to be our thick one right in the middle. This one right here is our ground wire, and then you've got a black and a white. The ground wire is going to hold this thing on, right? So I can let that thing go. The ground wire has it on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the ground wire as well as the white and black wires to go ahead and get this thing off the wall. All right, so we have got this one off. As you can see on the fixture, we've got the black wire, the white wire, and then the ground. And then same thing coming out of the house here. You've got the black wire, the white wire, and the ground. Something really interesting though, my house is a little bit older. You can see whoever put this light fixture up actually fixed the ground wire for the light to the screw there. So that is not good. We're going to go ahead and cut that off. And then when we put the new fixture on, we're going to actually go ahead and wrap the ground around the ground that it's supposed to be on. And then next is you probably already have a housing, this little metal bracket here on the wall coming out of your house. So you've got two options. You can go ahead and take this old one off and then use the new one that came with the light fixture. Or you can use this one that's already on there. It's already tied in, might make it a little bit easier for you. So that part's up to you. One thing you'll definitely want to consider when you are putting the new fixture on is the width here of these two holes that go on to the house may not be the same width as the new one. So for this light fixture, I am going to go ahead and put on this new base plate because this one will not fit over those two screws over there. So let's go ahead and get that new base plate on the house. Taking these base plates off is pretty easy. Typically just going to have two screws, one on either side. And then as you can see, they are going to come right out. So here's the old one. I am just going to use these screws since they are in pretty darn good condition. So I'll show you here how we are going to put the new base plate on next. So as you can see here, all I did was just loosely put this new base plate on the house. Biggest thing you want to make sure here is that you pull your wires, your black and your white, and your ground through the middle of the base plate. So do not tighten that base plate onto the house until you have pulled the wires through the middle. And then as you can see, we're just taking these screws right in, right back where they were. Definitely you want to make sure that the fixture is perfectly straight before you go ahead and really tighten it down. So we'll lock that one in, and we'll lock that one in right there. All right, so new base plate is on there. You got your wires pulled through the middle. let's go ahead and get the new fixture hooked up and on the wall. So we've got our new fixture here. We have got our wire caps. You definitely want to make sure that you have 3 wire caps, one for each, the black, the white, and the ground. Definitely recommend using new wire caps, although if the old ones are in good condition, you can use those, no problem. So first things first, we are going to do the ground, and then we are going to do the black and the white. Particularly the ground goes first. The other two doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead and get those on. All right, so we'll show you guys up close. We've got those wire caps on. As you can see, we have got white to white, black to black, and we have got the ground there in the middle. So we have got our new fixture on there. It is free hanging right now. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff these in that hole. So you want to hide these back behind that plate, and then we're going to put this new fixture on the house. We have got our wires stuffed back here. Everything is tucked away. We are going to go ahead and hang this thing on the wall. So, boom, right like that. We got her on the wall. And then, of course, we are going to grab the nuts for the outside of this fixture so that that thing stays put on the house. So let's go ahead and screw those on. Right, so we have got the new fixture on the wall here. We are screwing on those little outside screws that are going to hold this thing onto the house. There we go. And then I'm going to take a pair of needle nose pliers here, and I am just going to tighten these to make sure that there is no chance of them coming off. Definitely want to make sure that the fixture is tight on there and not going anywhere. So definitely make sure that you tighten those. If your fixture is really snug against the wall, you don't have to tighten these as much, but mine was not super tight, so I'm going to make sure that thing is fixed on there. All right, good to go. So let's go ahead and throw a light bulb in there. Let's turn the power back on, and then let's see how it works. All right, we've got the light bulb back in there. Just got accompanied by some nice rain here, but let's go ahead and see. Moment of truth. Turn it on, baby. There we go. And we are good to go. New light fixture on the house. That easy. So thank you guys for tuning in to another video. Also, if you want to grab these light fixtures specifically, I will put the link in the description. Again, would greatly appreciate a like, a subscribe, a comment, and we'll see you guys in the next video.